Her car's GPS logged 340 extra miles every single week for 7 months. She never mentioned a single one of them. Ethan wasn't the type to check. In 11 years of marriage to Rachel, he had never gone through her phone, never questioned her schedule, never asked why she came home tired on days she was supposed to have worked from home. He trusted her the way people trust gravity without thinking about it, because it had never failed him before. The first sign wasn't the miles, it was the tires. Rachel mentioned one evening that the car needed new tires earlier than expected. The mechanic had told her the tread was worn down faster than normal. Ethan nodded, paid the invoice without looking closely, and thought nothing more of it. But 2 weeks later, scheduling a routine service appointment, he pulled up the car's connected app to check the odometer reading. The number didn't match. He opened the mileage history. Month by month, the numbers told a story Rachel had never told him. On average, the car was logging 340 more miles per week than their shared calendar could account for. Office, grocery store, her mother's house on Sundays. He mapped it out carefully, subtracting every trip he knew about. The gap remained every single week. For 7 months, 340 miles were going somewhere unaccounted for. He didn't say anything that night. He made dinner, listened to her talk about a difficult client, watched a show they both liked, and waited until she was asleep before he opened the app again. The GPS history stored the last 90 days of route data. The pattern appeared immediately. Every Tuesday and Thursday, between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., the car took the same route north, exiting at a junction Ethan recognized, traveling 4.3 miles down a familiar road, and stopping at the same destination every single time. 19 Tuesdays, 14 Thursdays, always arriving before noon, always leaving before 2:30, 33 visits in 90 days, each lasting almost exactly 2 hours. The destination was Alderman Court. The house with the blue front door belonged to Ryan, his younger brother. What he didn't know yet was that the GPS was only the beginning. In 11 years, Ethan could not recall Rachel and Ryan ever being close. Polite at family events, brief exchanges at holidays. Ryan had attended their wedding, sat near the back, and left before the music started. There had never been a phone call Ethan had overheard, never a reason mentioned, never anything that suggested a relationship that required 33 private visits lasting exactly 2 hours each. But the GPS data raised a question that went beyond the visits themselves. Why Ryan's house specifically? Why always Tuesday and Thursday? Why always the same 2-hour window, with the same arrival and departure times, week after week, with the precision of a scheduled appointment rather than a casual visit between two people who simply enjoyed each other's company? Ethan didn't call Ryan. He didn't ask Rachel. He opened a private email account, documented every timestamp, every route, every arrival and departure, and then called an attorney named Patricia, who specialized in cases involving financial concealment. Patricia asked one question he hadn't considered. Had Ryan refinanced his property recently? Within 48 hours, she had the answer. 6 months earlier, 1 month after the GPS visits became consistent, Ryan had refinanced his home. The cosigner on the loan was not a bank guarantor. It was Rachel, using a financial account Ethan had never seen, opened in her name alone, more than 2 years before the GPS logs began. Patricia traced the deposit history. Every contribution to that account corresponded precisely with withdrawals from a consulting income stream Ethan had always assumed went into their joint savings. Over 26 months, the account had grown large enough to serve as a full down payment on a separate property. A property that, according to county records filed just 3 weeks earlier, had been purchased and listed under Ryan's name. But the property wasn't intended for Ryan. Patricia discovered, through the filing documents, that the purchase agreement included a secondary occupancy clause, a legal provision specifying that a second-name resident would take primary occupancy within 60 days of closing. The name on that clause was Rachel's. The closing date was 11 days away. Rachel had not been visiting Ryan because of an affair. She had been using his address, his credit profile, and her hidden account to build a legal exit from the marriage quietly, methodically, over 2 years, while continuing to live with Ethan as though nothing had changed. Ryan was not a romantic partner. He was the infrastructure of her plan. Ethan met with Patricia 3 more times over the following 2 weeks. Rachel noticed nothing. She kept her Tuesday and Thursday schedule, came home at the usual time, and made the usual conversations about work and weekend plans. Ethan listened and said nothing. On a Wednesday morning, while Rachel was at her mother's house, Ethan removed his personal documents from the shared home office, separated his accounts, and had the legal filings prepared. Before she came home, he printed the GPS logs, the mileage records, the loan documents, the financial account statements, the property filing, and the occupancy clause with her name on it. He placed everything in a single folder on the kitchen table. When Rachel walked through the door that evening and saw the folder, she stopped completely. Her face lost all color. She looked at the folder. She looked at Ethan. She sat down slowly, the way people sit when they already understand the conversation they are about to have. She did not ask how he had found it. She did not reach for the folder. She simply looked at him across the table and said nothing, because there was nothing left to say that the documents hadn't already said for her. The closing date on the property came and went 11 days later. Rachel's name was removed from the occupancy clause the morning after that conversation. The account she had built over 2 years was frozen as part of the legal proceedings. Ryan lost the refinancing within the month. In 14 years, I have not heard a better description of how most of these stories actually end. The betrayal is rarely discovered in a single moment of confrontation. It is uncovered quietly, piece by piece, in the hours when no one else is watching. Ethan didn't raise his voice. He didn't make accusations. He followed the data until it told him everything he needed to know. And then he made sure he was ready before she ever knew he was looking. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this, someone whose story doesn't quite add up the next file, may answer questions you haven't asked yet. Subscribe to Love and Lies Files. A new case opens next Tuesday.